everybody. Today, day 13 of the next 1,827 days. Oh, let's start this again. I think it cut me off. Everybody, thanks for coming out here. Today's day number 13 of the next 1,827 days, which is the next 5 years of your life. Today's title is How to Beat the Odds. We're going to start with something that many of you, I started this yesterday, and I was speaking about Ghana, about how they are directly targeted. Now, I'm going to provide the evidence here, and this is going to go straight into how we beat the odds, because I want you to know that this is a market opportunity for you, okay? So here, I'm going to share the screen. I'm going to share the audio so that you can hear this. I'm going to mute myself, but you should still be able to hear this.
Which we import on a large scale from Ghana. Gold and cocoa, which we import on a large scale from Ghana. It is quite simple. We need the raw materials, and you have the raw materials. The resulting trade and business should benefit both countries. This principle is part of mutual respect. Gold and cocoa can create work and wealth in both countries.
All right. Now, you heard from I believe that's the Swiss president. Swiss president. Now they sensationalize it. Ghana president shuts down Swiss president. Okay, yeah, those are just titles. Okay, but they're saying, hey, we need Ghana, we need this. That's what they were saying before. I just gave you the short, sweet, to the point. They wish that it would happen. They have a, quote, relationship that's developed on mutual respect and all of this stuff, that, all of those things. Now, here is Ghana's president responding. Here's the president responding. And this is going to be longer. I might cut in every once in a while. But here is that. Jimmy, welcome. I hope you're not a troll. Sometimes we get a bot and everything coming in here, but welcome. So we're going to see this. This is going to be a market opportunity right here. Now, Jimmy, you're new to the group. This is not directly related to crypto. I'm actually using this Telegram group to record for another thing. So it's about making money online and making money in different opportunities. Today is not directly about crypto. That's going to be next week. But all of this week, we're going to be talking about different money making opportunities on the continent of Africa and things like that, because I know you're new. So anyway, here we go.
And military equipment from Switzerland. However, as I have stated on occasion, Ghana no longer wants to be dependent on the production and export of raw materials, including cocoa beans. We intend to process more and more of our cocoa in our country with the aim of producing more chocolate ourselves, because we believe that there can be no future prosperity for the Ghanaian people in the short, medium, or long term if we continue to maintain economic structures that are dependent on the production and export of raw materials.
All right. Now, you heard him say that in response. She said, hey, we're shutting down that. And by the way, Jimmy, since you're here in the live, can you drop a comment in the Telegram group and tell me that you can hear the audio? Just give me a thumbs up or thumbs down if you can hear the audio. If you can't, give me a thumbs down. If you can, give me a thumbs up. I'm talking about the audio from the YouTube video, not me, but the audio from the YouTube video. Can you hear that? Because I got my mic muted so it doesn't echo. But can you hear the words that they were saying? Yeah, I'm just trying to be clear. If you can hear the YouTube video, I think I'm sharing it. Okay, cool. Thanks. So yeah, as I was saying, the past few days and this last week before the incident happened and delayed me a few days, but this whole thing is Ghana no longer had to depend on IMF World Bank loans. Ghana started to do the year of return, which is bringing primarily Black Americans over and they generated like 700 million US dollars just from that, or 500 million, somewhere around $500 million US dollars just from people coming in, probably thinking they're getting citizenship faster than they did. Is more of a tourism thing, but still, some people will stay long enough that they will have citizenship. So win-win situation. Great, fantastic. It boosts Ghana. Ghana's getting foreign direct investment. We'll get into that later because that's in the same video. They're getting a whole bunch of things. We're seeing the hype. Silicon Valley 2 is in Ghana. Now, we hear Silicon Valley 2 thrown around a lot, not just for Ghana. It's in other locations, Dubai, all types of places, different places in Asia, different places in South America. They keep throwing around that term, I guess, until it sticks somewhere. So they were saying Silicon Valley 2 is being built up in Ghana. There's this long strip, Microsoft, Facebook, all of them, they've done their lease for the next 99 years, all of that. And I'm one of the people that was talking about it. I was believing more of the hype then, but I didn't realize that they kept throwing around Silicon Valley 2 all over the place. Now, there's a reason why I'm telling you guys this information, because it goes with what we said yesterday. But just in case this is the first video, I always give summaries of things. Now, he said we don't want to export raw cocoa. The reason being is because Swiss are known for their watches and chocolate. That's what the Swiss are known for internationally. Other things, of course, but those are the big two main things. They don't grow chocolate. It has to grow in a warm climate. The Swiss literally cannot do that. So they import it, and then they sell it back to Ghana. This was the background exchange. This is their press conference. I couldn't find the one where they were on stage, but so this is still good. But they were like, the Ghanaian president said, we are not going to keep taking a loss. We're exporting raw to you. You get it basically pennies on the dollar. Then you sell it back to us 700% higher, 1,300% higher, all of these multipliers. So now we're going to develop our own chocolate industry. That's basically what it is. We are cutting all 100%, not some, 100% of raw exports. That's what he said. Not that they're going to do some. Now, there's a reason why I'm emphasizing this. So I'm going to go ahead to the next points now.
We intend to add value to our raw materials, industrialize and enhance agricultural productivity.
And I promise this part right here is about 10 minutes total, maybe 15. And then we're going to go to how this makes us money, because I don't do anything without telling us how we're going to make money. All of my stuff is how we increase our economic value.
This is the best way we can put Ghana at the high end of the value chain in the global marketplace and create jobs for the teeming masses of Ghanaians. It is for this reason that my government continues to put in place a number of measures aimed at attracting investment into Ghana, as well as stimulating growth of the private sector. We have succeeded over the last 3 years in ensuring that all our macroeconomic indices are pointing in the right direction. Cut our fiscal deficit, introduce a monetary policy that is stabilizing the currency and reducing significantly the cost of borrowing, and have introduced a raft of tax cuts which are bringing relief to and encouraging businesses.
Okay, I want to get right here, right before he talks about this one other point. Now, here's the thing. He just said for the last 3 years, this was in 2021. So you're talking about 2020 back to 2017, right? Going from 2017 to 2020. That's the same time he's doing the year of return, and you get a bunch of Black Americans that are coming over, other nations coming over, but primarily, the majority are Black Americans. Okay, great. So you're getting all of that money in. At the same time, they don't have to take out a loan from the IMF, World Bank, right? They don't have to take out a loan anymore. He said he cut his deficit. That means they're paying back their debt. They're like, hey, we're paying it back. Now, like I said yesterday, none of these nations should really just pay that off. They've already paid off the debt plus interest. You don't go, and it shouldn't be forever. You don't keep paying stuff forever. That's just unrealistic. It's dumb. It's backwards. At some point, you're just like, hey, we paid off the loan. Now we paid you off interest, double, triple. At some point, you're not getting it anymore. Just because I could not pay it fast enough. We are nations. That you're not going to do that to me. Then on top of that, they tell them, hey, cut out your rice industry. Stop helping them import rice. So you're doing two things. You give me a loan and then you tell me I can't grow my own economy. Those are dumb. So if I were in that position, I would get all the other nations and be like, yeah, we're not paying this. Number one, you owe us. So what's going to happen is that he was able to establish an economic front that was strong enough to sustain Ghana. And here's the thing. I'll let you guys hear the next few seconds, which is 1 minute.
These interventions have led to Ghana recording an annual GDP average growth rate of 7% since 2017, making us consistently one of the world's fastest growing economies during the period. We are one of the most business-friendly economies in Africa, evidenced in our status as the largest recipient of foreign direct investment in West Africa. Ghana has also been selected to host the Secretariat of the African Continental Free Trade Area, a market of some 1.2 billion people with a combined GDP of US 3 trillion American dollars.
All right. Now, this last part right here, just to have that as a summary real quick, he's talking about how now, as a quick note, when the pandemic and everything was happening, look, all these shutdowns and everything are happening. Did you know that Ghana was really kind of maintaining and fighting against inflation? Yeah, inflation happened, but it was like a lot slower. Compare that to Nigeria, and it was just flying off the radar. Now, Ghana is going through some of that right now with the currency. But as he said, they stabilized it. It wasn't really going up. Sometimes actually it deflated against the US dollar, deflated against the euro. So what he's speaking are some hardcore facts. Let's stop sharing the screen for a second. And that's what makes this other thing very, very insidious. Let me show you something. Let me show you something right here. Here's the first strike. We're going to talk about the cocoa real quick. Oh, wow. We just did this. Let's see. It's probably going to be an ad. Yeah, it's an ad. So once this ad is over, let's share this on the screen anyway. Wrong button. There we go. Theater mode. Let's put this to full screen. All right. Now, let's play this on here. Unmute this. We're going to go to the part right around here.
Things we try to find replacements for, cocoa may not be an obvious one.
What most people don't realize about cocoa and chocolate is that about 70% of it is produced in just two countries in West Africa, Ghana and Ivory Coast, in a way that involves...
Okay, what's the problem? What's the problem with most of it being produced in Ghana and Ivory Coast, the two nations that came up and said, hey, we're going to stop exporting? But okay, let's listen, because this is to replace. They're making synthetic chocolate. Now, hey, here we go. Let's see.
Involves outsized water consumption, so about 20,000 liters of water per kilo.
Okay, so chocolate has been used for, these chocolate companies have been around for hundreds of years, and now they're concerned with, quote, water. But it doesn't seem like cocoa is one of the major issues of desertification. It's causing deserts. See, that's the context we're leaving. We just let people talk. They're just going to say random stuff. But let's continue and see what this guy blabbers.
And that's way more than beef or soy or avocados.
And there are issues with labour in those parts of the world.
At a conservative estimate, it's thought that 1.5 million children are on these cacao farms working with their families predominantly.
Is this how...
Wait, so there's 1.5 million children working on the farms, comma, with their families predominantly. But when you see all of these things and this stuff, it's child labor. So he had to still throw in the truth. he paused so they can have a snippet, because you know how these media companies are. They'll have a snippet, a sound bite, and it'll say child labor. Now, as somebody in the comment section, when I scroll down far enough, they say when white people do it, they're called working on a family farm. But when black people do it, it's called child labor. These are literally children working on their family farm. They're going to actually learn their family business so they can continue their family business. Is there anything wrong with that? It's like, huh? Where's this? But let's see how he's going to spin this.
However, not taking away income from countries that really need it.
Those countries do need that income, and those hardworking farmers need to be supported. But the state of the current cacao and chocolate industry is such that those people are working on $1 or less a day, and it's not an equitable trade.
So this is
Supported, but
That really need it.
those countries,
Is this, however, not taking away income from countries that really need it?
those is predominantly,
Is this, however, not taking away income from countries that really need it?
predominantly.
Is this, however, not taking away income from countries that really need it?
The most important question, and this dude blabbers off, they're working on $1 a day, so we're going to just destroy it completely because reasons. This is his response again.
Those countries do need that income, and those hardworking farmers need to be supported. But the state of the current cacao and chocolate industry is such that those people are working on $1 or less a day, and it's not an equitable trade.
so this is Johnny's story.
I grew up in Birmingham near the
But then they give us some random background of some dude. So this was made in direct response. Now, the company started in 2020. Obviously, that the talks have been going around for some years. The talks have been going around between Ghana and Switzerland. Yeah, they signed it off in 2021, March of 2021. But actually, when it was made public, look at all of these companies that started after that. This was in October. Now California saying they're getting $4 million to do it. We got chocolate out of Israel. They got Silicon Valley. There's a bunch of them that started after that. This is 2022 that's doing it. Lab grown stuff here. The Israel startup company. This happens in 2021 after that announcement. So the vast majority of these chocolate, synthetic chocolate startups come directly after Ghana announces this. Isn't that crazy? Nah, it's not really crazy. It's expected. Now, I looked at the World Bank, which actually showed this as well, but I like the Brookings Institute because they give all of their information. They give much it for free. So this is good. World Bank also, I mean, the IMF also does it, but it gave it, more boring and hard to for me to portray. Now, I did do it. They knew this back in 2001, by the way, that foreign direct investment does not help. This is the conclusion. I just told you right now. So Ghana was talking about how they got the robust foreign direct investment, and many of these nations, they probably believe that. But when you think about it, foreign direct investment or private companies, mostly the private sector, what are they going to do? You are an individual. You're trying to make money. You're not there. Like a government can afford to take losses because they're there for the well-being of the people. So they might be able to shift around and do things and fudge numbers. But you literally have a limited supply of money. You're going to put it in places where you're going to make money. Unless it's some kind of donation, most of you would put it in place where you expect to make money. And as it says right here, even before last year's 42% drop sensibly, benchmarked annual inflows, they said they're lower than the last 25 years. It's been 27 years of them doing that, of foreign direct investment stuff. Now, foreign direct investment is basically these globalists trying to buy up everything, essentially. Globally, the average return for FDI fell during the past decade. So that means before all of this pandemic, it was already the return for the money that they get is going down. Okay. They said it fell even more in developing countries than in higher income countries. Now, that's the average return. It didn't mean they took a loss. It just means you make less money. If you make less money, most of the time people don't want to put in places it doesn't make as much money. Think about crypto versus the stock market. If you're in the crypto group listening to this, well, obviously, if you're not in the stock market, you're in crypto because you can make more money faster. Clearly, you're not there. So think of it the same way. Developed nations are like crypto, and the regular stock market is like the developing countries. In a way, if you're gonna make money, you're like, hey, I want to make it and faster, so I'm gonna put it here. Logic dictates that, right? Now, since 2015, U.S. multinationals have earned at most meager additional returns from FDI in developing countries outside of the quote Middle East, which is Africa and Asia put together. Now, when compared to investments in less risky European Union economies. Okay, so basically they said since 2015, before the pandemic, U.S. multinationals, didn't I tell you this is businesses and private people? This is not governments doing this. So foreign direct investment are for people and businesses. And since in the U.S. corporations are people, they're talking about people. So they've at most earned meager additional returns. Great, which means they're not really going to do it. So what happened in response is the FDI has dried up. The foreign direct investment has dried up. Okay. Now, that means, and the reason why this happened was because Ghana's currency or something like that was rated a devaluation. They devalued it almost to like junk, which means FDI, many of them will be like, yeah, we can't touch you because by law, we can't do certain levels. Like certain companies cannot invest in certain things if it's not A grade. And Ghana got reduced. So here's the hit piece. Now they got article after article after article after article telling you about this. And I've already went over this on the last video, but I wanted to just give you more evidence. I wanted to show you the video that they had of this really weird and whacked out dude trying to justify, well, they only make $1 a day and they got child labor, and admitting that it's just the parents having their children work on a family business. Like, that's kind of weird. What, are you going to regulate somebody doing a family business? Oh, only in places that we're concerned. Then they quote unquote say it's more than beef. Is it really more than beef? Because with a plant, the water goes back into the ground. So how are we going to make money off of this? Good question. See, this is what we're going to have to do. Pull our money together. No matter if they say we're going to make synthetic chocolate, and it's going to be a little bit of a minute before that happens. If you want to start a cocoa company in, say, Nigeria and Ghana, what you're going to have to do is contact those people directly, the farmers directly, and start making up business arrangements and start putting it together. Think about your brand. Here is how we can do it. I'm going to show you some on screen. I didn't do this before, but I'm going to do it because I'm thinking of it now. Here, I'm going to show you to make a chocolate logo, company for a chocolate company. I mean, a logo for a chocolate company right now. I'm going to show you guys. Give me just a second. I'm going to stop sharing the screen. And then we're going to bring this up right now. I'm going to show you how to do it for free, by the way. Let's do this. That's why I said, if you guys want to support, I'm going to show you how to do this for free. Let's do this right now. Where is that at? Okay. Matter of fact, I'm going to do one step better. Okay, now I'm going to show you guys from start to finish. Let's do this right now. Let me share my screen with you guys. I opened up a new tab. I made a new email that is unrelated to this in the Google Chrome browser so you guys can see this. You're going to see my screen. So, Playground. We're going to go here. As I'm waiting for it to load up. Come on now. Load up faster. Load up faster. Yeah, so we're going to do this right now. Let's just come up with a chocolate company logo. I don't know what it's going to look like, but let's come up and we're going to make that from start to finish. I'm showing you guys right now. Oh, wait a minute. That's the wrong website. Yep, that's not the thing. Here we go. Let's get started for free. Continue with Google. Just in case it shows this other email, I still don't want to be spammed, even though I created it. So I'm going to sign up with the Google account. Let me stop sharing the screen real quick. And then continue with Google, because it's going to flash the email on there. Oh, wait a minute. It doesn't have an email associated with this. So I'm going to have to use a different browser. Okay, that's fine. Let's close down that tab. I'm going to use a different browser. And now that we got that, we're going to do this because they give us free and they give us like, I don't know, 500 images or whatever. And now you can do this on your phone, but obviously I'm on a computer. And so I'm going to show you on a computer. Okay, sharing the screen. Now, what I'm going to do, let's do tutorial, create the first image. 1, generate. It's not letting me get through until this tutorial. Chocolate company logo test. That's what we're going to do. I guess pressing the word 1, the number 1, gives me an anime person. That's weird. Okay, move around in the canvas. I'm moving around. Okay, next. Okay, we're going to zoom and zoom out. Next. I'm going to zoom out. Next, we're almost finished. Select a filter. We're going to go with a sticker. Fantastic. Generate. Let's use that. Now we've pressed the number 1 and used a sticker. Let's see. This is interesting. Now we've changed it. Now, still, we went from this to this. Hey, that's actually kind of cool, right? Now what I'm going to do is this. Let's go ahead. We're going to make 4 images. Now, when you do this on your phone, make sure these aren't public. You got to make sure you select the privacy thing. I'm not going to show that part. You need to just do that. So let's see. Since I like the sticker and how this looks, actually, I like how that looks. We're going to use that as the base. And we're going to say chocolate company logo, chocolate bar company logo. I wonder, let's say blurry. That's what I don't want in there. And I'm going to generate. Now I'm showing you guys how to do this from start to finish. This is part of it right here. Now, obviously, you want to edit it. You want to get a graphic designer, or you do the graphic design yourself. Good thing I have some skills, so we would edit that. But we're going to show you right here, as you hear my creaky chair that I'm using. All right, that's our first images. Let's generate again, just in case. Let's see. Can't bar. If this was now this one actually looks okay. I like this one, but we're still gonna make some more. I like this one. We could have a variation of it, or we could use this as is. I like this one right here. And matter of fact, okay, that's creepy because it's missing the eyeball or something. Let's say human. I don't want a human in there. Man, woman. Let's say cute. I'm liking the direction that it's going. So I'll put a note that I added cute. All right. Now here we go. Boom. Let's see. Now, this one actually is okay. It's kind of looking like a monkey. Chocolate bar company logo. This one also looks okay. Yeah, it looks fair. Maybe I'll take out human and all of that stuff if it takes away from some of that stuff. But here we go. Chocolate bar. We can always remove the words and stuff. I could put in remove text, but sometimes it doesn't work. Okay, we got like a cat. We still kind of got a human face. These got the wrappers here. That gives me ideas of how I would make my company foil. So that's good. That even gives me other ideas. Now you see how we're brainstorming right here. I'm doing this live with you guys. And if you're on a recording, you notice I'm not cutting anything. This is just all straightforward here. Hey, Coco. Ironic that my rabbit, actually Coco is literally spelled like the chocolate, Coco. Cocoa. Hey, Coco, my rabbit. She's a brown and white rabbit. As she comes up to lick my foot. You heard me talking about chocolate? All right. So here we go. Nope, we keep going. I think this one might, that's more like a chocolate cake. So we're going to keep going. We might take the sticker off and see what happens when we take the sticker filter off. And obviously this is made by 512 by 512. We can make it long. We can make it short. We can change up the dimensions and everything like that. And then obviously it says view pricing and whatnot. Yeah, I could tell you that when you actually pay for this, it actually does go faster, but you can get it done. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Now, if I were to use these, we could upscale this, right? And then we could cut one of them out, like we could crop it and use one of them as a base. Let's see. No. Okay, let's keep going. Like I said, I really like this one. This was one of the first ones right here. I like this one. I like it so much, I'm going to use it myself. They're going to be like, oh my goodness, that logo, blah, blah. I'm going to make a variation of it so I can actually own the copyright for it, guys. But really, I mean, at the end of the day, it's just going to be branding. So that's the whole point. Now, what I'm doing here is showing you guys, here's a pathway for us to make money. See, now you got the logo done. Great. Cool. You can get another AI program and start talking about the business aspects of it. Okay. Here we go. This gives me an idea. Toasted chocolate. So let's upscale this. We're going to make this bigger. The reason why I'm upscaling it is so I can make it bigger. We're going to place it on the canvas. So we make this big. And then what I'm going to do is, which one of these should I use? I think I'm going to use this one. So I'm going to crop the image. I'm going to try to make this into a perfect square. Come on. Okay, there we go. Perfect square. Actually, let's do this. $29. Okay, because I had to leave out the shadow and everything from the other side. So I think we're done there. We're going to do this. We're going to do something called image to image. So it's going to take that. Oh, okay. So it didn't change the size of it, because normally what it'll do, it should match the size. But I guess we're going to make a smaller one. So we're going to put it down here, and then we're going to do this. We're going to do a variation just in case I want to see what it looks like. I think I'm going to use that one anyway. That's why I made it so small. But I think I'm going to use this. And I'm going to show you guys, like I said, how we're going to do this. Now, what you want to also do is you want to, when you get all of this stuff together, you want to do the market research. Obviously, we got to look at the market size for that. And so while I'm waiting for it, oh, this one is cool. This one has a heart. This is more of a heart shape. But you know what? I think I'll use this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to download this image right here. I'm going to download this. Toasted chocolate. What's a name that we can have for it? Let's see. What's a name we can have for it? I don't even know where it just downloaded to. I imagine that it's to the default download folder. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop sharing the screen. And the reason why I also got to do this live here. Oh, here it is. The reason why I also have to do this live here is because on Telegram, there's no real way to pause. It's either going to stop the recording completely or it's going to go. So we're going to go to something called photop.com. I'm going to open up chat.openai.com. So sign up for ChatGPT. I'm going to sign up for it with my same account that I'm using here, which I have not used. So we're going to have a new one here. Now, what is this rabbit doing? We're going to do okay, give me a second. I'm signing up for this. But anyway, as we're doing this, it says verify your phone number. Now I got to sign up with my phone number. Gosh darn it. Enter the code we just sent you. I should have just used my classic account with them, but enter their phone number. All right. Okay. Now we got this. What's the point of asking my name if it's going to tell me that? So we got Photop right here. I'm going to open from the computer. You're not going to see it, but just trust me for it. I'm going to drag it actually. Okay. So let me bring this back on the screen. Just bring it back on the screen. This one's a little bit slower and everything. You get to see all these ads on the side, so they make their money. So it's basically a Photoshop clone. So I'm going to open up a new one, and I'm going to make it where it is, instead of 512 by 512, the width is still going to be, well, no, actually, I'm going to just leave it like this. What I'm going to do is do some text, and I'm going to put it right on top, and we're going to say, Super Cocoa. Actually, here's what we can do. Now it's freezing up. Darn it. I guess all these tabs and browsers and stuff open. I got a bunch of them. All of that in itself is starting to freeze up my computer, I think. Okay, we're going to delete this. Let's stop sharing the screen here. So here's one of the things that we can do. What we could do is we can ask ChatGPT, although I personally would not do this myself. I'd rather just come up with the name, but for time's sake right now, let's share the screen. I might do a combination of it actually, but hey, ChatGPT, I hope you're doing well. They've proven that if you are, quote, talking nice to it, it'll be better. That's because they programmed it that way. So I would like you to come up with 20, let's go with 25. 25 energetic and catchy chocolate bar company names that would easily be rememberable, would easily be, I said rememberable, memorable. This is what happens when you read the words out slowly as you're typing them and jump. Like, that's kind of crazy. So, catchy chocolate bar company that would easily be memorable. to the average person and increase sales. I don't know if that helps, but I'm going to say it. Here we go. Boom. Of course, creating memorable and energetic names is important for a chocolate bar company. Chocolate Blitz, Zestful, Cocoa, Snapjoy bars, Turbo Treats, Buzz Bar. You know what? Snapjoy. Like, what does Nestle mean? Like, right? Really? When you think about it, think about something like Nestle, Hershey. It's like it's not really their Energy Europa bars. Make 25 more, but without reference to cocoa or bars in the name. Choco Fusion. Think of the name Mars and Nestle and come up with 25 similar chocolate company names. See, here's how we could break it down. I'm thinking differently. For Mars, no, don't make it like that. Stop generating. Do not use the word Nestle or Mars, but make something that is similar to those types of company names. Sweet Nest, no. All right, that's not doing well. We've already lost it because they put Mars in the thing. I just said don't do it, and it did it. So let's go back up here. Let's see. Sweet Velvet Grove, Chocolates, Bliss Blast. See, this is why I wouldn't use this, but we're going to do it for the reason being here. Heavenly Bite Sweets. Okay, so like if you were to have a local company like this, Heavenly Bite Sweets, that actually would make sense if you were to open up a chocolate restaurant. All right. Why is my chair creaky? That's weird. But anyway, must be about to break down. I need to get another one. So if you were to make a restaurant, a chocolate restaurant, this makes sense. A lot of these confectionaries, people are coming in, they're ordering it from you. But if you're trying to do something like a Mars or Nestle company and you're trying to push that out, that may not be the same if you're having a chocolate bar company, right? So Luscious Lift, that's funny. Velvet Vortex, Velvet. I don't associate that with that, but Morsel, Marvel Treats. Okay, Kickstart Candy. Zesting, Boost Beam, Joy Burst, Joy Rush, Snapjoy. Like, I think Snapjoy actually makes sense, so I kind of want to use it myself, so I'm going to use it here. So we're going to do Snapjoy. All right, that's what we've come up with. Snapjoy. All right. So I'm going to go back over to the handy dandy Photopea. And the reason why I'm stop sharing the screen and I'm doing this is because I can't really just block the screen out like that. So I got other tabs open in this one browser, and I'd rather not have those tabs seen because I'm working on private company things here. So let's do this. We're going to make this font bigger. Mo Bigly. There we go. We're going to also make this white. Let's change the font here to bold. And we're going to say Snapjoy Candies. Snapjoy Delights. Yeah, Snapjoy Delights. How does that sound, guys? Okay. We're going to have Snapjoy Delights. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to use the tool here so I could get some of the brown here for the chocolate. Let's do it on the outside curve. Now I'm going to double click this, stroke, pause. The color will be this. Let's make that bigger. So now it makes sense. Now, what I could do is this. I could literally just make it the same. So I can make this hidden. I can rasterize. No. I can then make a new layer, rasterize this, and then do this again. Have another stroke layer on top of that and change it to white. And then there you go. I've now made it into like a sticker, just like the rest of it. You see how I did that? Snap Joy Delights. Let's do this again. So here we go. No, that's not what I want to select. And we're going to center this because I need this to be centered. And there you go. Now we've made something called Snap Joy Delights. And I'm going to save this. All right, while I'm doing that, okay, I'm going to tell the Telegram group that I am currently live teaching people how to start a chocolate company, from logo to business plan and everything. Well, even yesterday I said you don't really need a business plan. But what I'm going to do is show you the planning here. And fundraising. Fundraising. All right, I'm doing that. Obviously, there's some pauses here, so guys, bear with me, you know. Bear with me. Let's see. All right, now I saved the image. Let's save this image. Okay. All right, I've saved it. Now, I'm going to go back over to Handy Dandy, even though this is not necessary. This part is not necessary, but I'm just showing you guys, here's some tools that you can use to your advantage. All right. Hi. What if I wanted to start a chocolate company like a Nestle or a Mars? How would I go about doing that? Boom. Starting a chocolate company similar to Nestle or Mars involves a combination of careful planning, market research. Okay, it says market research and business planning. Conduct thorough research on the market to understand the chocolate industry, target market, consumer preferences, competitors. All right, so this is going to be the hard part. See, when you're talking about consumer preferences, that's going to be the hard part in this whole chocolate thing. If you can get that down, which is what you're going to have to do, you're going to have to go up. I'm going to tell you right now. Some of you are going to have to go up to the cocoa farmers, try to make a deal with them to get the cocoa, the raw cocoa off of them, and say, look, every week I'm going to buy, or every month I'm going to buy, let's put it into Naira, I'm going to buy 500K worth of your cocoa guaranteed for the next 1 year. And you guys do a deal with me just to do it. Like, give me some of your cocoa. I'm going to buy 500K, 1 million, whatever. And you raise this money with other people, of course, and some of your own, or however you're doing it. Or I'm going to buy 100K worth of this, 50K. Can I buy it from you directly? I got a plan. I'd like to partner with you. If my company works out, you will be the exclusive partner or the primary partner. Don't want to, lie to them, because you might at some point need to expand to others. But you're going to be the primary partner I go to first before going to other people. You're going to be one of the people I go to first to get the cocoa from. I'm going to buy there as I'm increasing my business. If I need more, I come to you first. That's what you're going to do. The other ones are going to tell you no. One of them might say yes. And if they don't, just say, look, you try your strategy. That's how you're doing. I'm telling you guys how to break this down. Thank you for my $10,000 US. That's what you should be paying for this. I'm telling you guys how to break this down. You go up to them. Now, when you get that material, what you're going to do is then now you're going to find, maybe you're the cook itself. Or maybe you're finding other people, the bakers or something like that. Hey, get some people together. Hey, can you bake some of this? Do that. Maybe break them off some money or something like that. Whatever you got to do. Give them a bag of rice. Give them something, data packages, whatever you got to negotiate. Something. Try to give them some value. If you don't, just be honest. Like, hey, look, this is what I'm trying to do. This is where I'm at now in life. I don't got all of this, but here's the plan of where we're going. And I got this completely organized. When you got all of that already set, write all of this stuff down beforehand. You got the notes for it. You got it written down by hand. You got a copy of it in your phone, since most of you don't have a computer. That's what you're doing. Okay? Do you understand? Now, it says, now that's how you get the consumer preferences, because you're going to have that, and then you have a taste group. You're going to have several different bunches of that, and you got to have a way for them to wash their taste palette. So you got to figure out, and this is where you do the research. I'm not going to do that portion for you, but you do the research of what washes out the taste of chocolate in somebody's mouth to reset it so they can taste another one. So you have a taste test. You make a small batch. You make a batch of, maybe it's 100. So you get 100 drops of this. So you can get 50 people. Maybe they need to eat 2, or you cut them in such a way where everybody gets a little taste of it. And it's like, wow, this tastes real good. And you give them an extra one. Okay, there you go. 100, 200, 1,000. You may need 1,000, and that feeds 100 people. But you got a taste group, and you want to maybe get a consistent taste group. They're the taste testers. And you say, hey, can you try this out? We got a new chocolate that's coming out. You stand on the corner and you do it. That's where you get to that point. This is the testing phase before you put real money and real investment and start going there. After that, now you got to decide what type of business that you want, because you've done the market research. You said, okay, the market industry size is such and such. Let's look at it right here. I'm going to bring it up on the screen. Matter of fact, I'm going to do that with you. But I see some of this is good, some of it's not. What is the market industry size for chocolate in Ghana? Let's use Ghana. All right. Now here it is. Here it is. I'm going to bring it up on the screen. Chocolate industry size. It says, according to the International Cocoa Organization, the ICCO, Ghana is the world's second largest producer of cocoa beans, 15% of the global production. Of the $130 billion global chocolate industry, less than $2 billion goes to Ghana, but they produce 15%. You don't even get 15%, because 10% would be 13 billion. 15% would be basically 20. You get around 20 billion if you had 15%, if that was equal. Now, because they're the ones that produce it, I think, you can charge a higher price, or something like that. Now, that's why they're saying, hey, we ain't about to export this. That's only $2 billion, man. So we're going to do something different. Now it says Ghana's cocoa powder market size is estimated to grow at a compound annual growth rate of 13.93%. It says here on the screen. All right. All right. Okay. Now, that isn't necessarily a good thing. Okay. Now, so why does Ghana have only 2% of the $100 billion chocolate industry's profits? Now, if you're in Ghana, if you're in Nigeria, or something like that, or if you're in the Ivory Coast, you're somewhere in Africa, you're looking at this. Now, the fact that they're doing this, you think of it this way. Okay, only 2 billion goes to Ghana because they're exporting. And now Ghana said, we're not really exporting raw stuff like that, which means the raw material stays here. Who's going to make that money? Okay, let's put our money together and buy it. Now you have the opportunity to buy it. Now the chocolate can be made by you and then exported somewhere else. Let's say that Nestle sells their chocolate for $1 there. You may not have the brand recognition of Nestle. Okay, fair enough. But you said, hey, I can make a deal with you, Nestle, or somebody else that's trying to rebrand the chocolate we make. Hey, I can white label. That's what it's called, white label, which means you shipping a product or something without the box having a name. You say, hey, I'll white label it for you. I'll charge you 70 cents on the dollar. That means 30% profits you get to take. I take whatever my profits are. See, you're now giving them a 30% discount. Really, it could be a 10% discount. They mark it up however they want. It could be a 15% discount. Those are more fair terms. But if you're really trying to get a deal, your new company, I understand that some people are going to do 30% discount. Others are going to do 10 or 15%. But that's how it is. They can then resell the chocolate you already got at whatever price. But then you also have your own chocolate brand that you're selling. So you got two ways. You're basically kind of competing against yourself in one way. So it's kind of like you want to guarantee some profits. See, these are two different ways you can do this. You can white label it to a company and then they resell it, and then you can sell it yourself. Now, some people will say this one tastes better because it's this. That's like the generic brand versus the name brand. You guys get where I'm coming from? Now, I just broke down a way that you can do this. Now, there's $2 billion that is up for grabs. Why don't you go into, well, actually, you will be paying. You're not the one growing it. That's what we're talking about now. But there's $2 billion up for grabs. Why don't you get in between some of that? And then there's a $130 billion chocolate industry market out there. And you go ahead and help grow an extra 18 billion US dollars worth of value for Ghana. You help grow the next 1 billion in there. You're one of the people that do that. Now, I just broke down how you could do it. The packaging, the people that are going to be consistent, the where you're going to have it, where the warehouse is, or where you're going to bake it. These are all things you need to consider, and you need to get the plot of land or however you're going to do the rent. Those are all the research you need to do before you get the first person to ask them for money. Okay, before you go up to the first person, we've already got the market industry size. It's $130 billion. That's what you talk to the people about. Hey, it's $130 billion. Hey, we're only getting $2 billion. It's unlimited growth. If we were equal, then we will have $20 billion, 10 times the market size, guys. And we know that when that money grows in Ghana, it's not going to be equal. We're going to be trying to be the first movers or the best movers here, because there are chocolate companies in Ghana. Are they doing what I'm saying? There are chocolate companies in Nigeria. Are they doing what I'm saying? Chances are they're not. They're not white labeling their chocolate. They're not going out there. Also, I mean, quite frankly, many of these companies, they kind of blacklist the black companies. That's what they do. They just try to keep you economically poor. Oh, we can't buy it from you. Find somebody that will. There's not everybody that's going to do it. If the main supply chain people don't want to do it, find the mom and pop that's trying to grow their stuff. Find somebody going to put the money in you. Because there's not everybody. There's not this huge blockade until they make a law for the company or the country. Until that happens, find someone. Someone is looking to make money, and they're going to look the other way. They might even try to edge you out and steal your formula. That's the thing you got to be careful about. But they might be willing to work with you. Find someone. There's somebody in Saudi Arabia probably that'll do it. Somebody in Qatar that'll do it. Somebody over there that will work with you. If you ain't finding it where in Europe, find somebody else. Forget them. It's a whole freaking planet out there. There's other places in Africa that can buy the chocolate from you. Because if Ghana's buying Nestle chocolate bars, if Ghana's buying Mars chocolate bars, why don't you just be the replacement for those? And you're better. You don't need to market and say, we're better than them. We're doing that, because then you get them shine just by saying it. Sound like a hater. Instead, you're going to be like, hey, we might not be the top brand, but we try harder to make sure you're satisfied. Boom. There you go. I was going to say satisfied, but then Snickers already got that. I was, super satisfied. Some of these things, satiating, crunchalizing. You come up with like slogans and put it on your bars and all of that stuff. And then people are like, oh, wow, this is different. It's all different types of marketing that you can get out the chocolate. Some people are going to come from a health perspective and say, hey, this dark chocolate does this, this, and this. Energizes you because it has caffeine or something in it. These are things you can think about. Europe is not the only place to sell it to. US is not the only place to sell it to. You got all of South America that you can sell it to, although they have their own cocoa growing things. Hey, look, they're importing ready-made produced chocolate from Switzerland too. So we can't look at it and say it's impossible to grow. So that's there. Now, here's how you could do the fundraising. All right. Now that you got all the numbers and all of that, I'll let you do some of the more market research. Obviously, you can go there. This video is running long, so I'm going to get here. The fundraising is you just start knocking on freaking doors. You start going up to people. Maybe you find some of the upper middle class that's in your country. And look, you got to retain majority ownership. You got to have at least 51%. If you're selling up ownership of your company, which you need to register, by the way, you should register anyway. Whatever the cost is, register. $100, $1,000 in value in your currency, $20, don't matter. It's not that expensive when you really think about it. Have the company registered, have it already decided, right? That's why you got the company logo, right? You got the company logo. You got all of that. You got the business planned out, not a business plan per se, because most companies don't have business plans. They don't need them. You just have a business plan, like a 20, 40 page document. Nah, just have a 1-page thing about what you're doing, like a white paper or something like that. Have 1 or 2 pages. This is the plan. This is the market industry size. This is the direction we want to go. And this is our goal. And remember yesterday I said, do not promise a return after 1 year. Even 5 years might be a little bit soon, but you could say, hey, we'll review it at year 5. 10 years, 6, 7 years or something like that seems more realistic, especially you're a startup company. Most of these companies are not going to make money. The only thing you could do is say, hey, may have private equity or private stock, and you may be able to sell that out. But as far as us giving you dividends, we probably won't be able to do that in the first 5, maybe even 7 years. Amazon took 10 or 12 years before it made a profit. Now, there were people making money off of Amazon because they sold the stock of Amazon that they had bought early on. They changed up hands, but it's not like, okay, Amazon's like, yeah, let's just pay this out because what? Yeah, because we said something. So make sure you look at realistic expectations. Don't just promise somebody something because it's like, well, I need the money. No, find somebody. They don't want to say, yeah, find somebody else. That's all you can do. You either got money or you got time. So use your time to get money. That's what a job is, right? So use your time to get money. Your job is to fundraise. After you got all of this, you know that the market's 130 billion globally. You know that if you're in Ghana, it's 2 billion. Let's see if you're in Nigeria. What's the size for that? Okay. Revenue in the confectionery and snacks market amounts to $52.2 billion US dollars. Now, is that in Nigeria? Now, this is called in confectionery and snacks, and this is revenue. In global comparison, it's most revenue is generated in the United States, which is $304 billion. So this is confectionery and snacks market, which is not just chocolate, okay? Confectionery and snacks. So Nigeria has a huge industry when it comes to that, and that's revenue. I'm looking at it right now. That's revenue. I'm like, oh, okay. This is something I didn't expect, but okay. Snack food is very small. Confectionery is bigger. So when you look up what the definition of confectionery is, see, there you go. Now you got Nigeria. You're in Ghana, sell to Nigeria. Boom. There you go. You're so close to each other. Now, in any case, so because that could include potato chips, that can include fried plantains, because those are snack foods, all types of stuff. All right. So what we want to do is we want to remember, let's download this. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to remember that if you're going to sell somewhere, you did your market research, You got all the data first, and then you're going to have the taste testers. In my opinion, you should get the taste testers. Now, if you want to get a little bit of money to be able to order some raw cocoa or something like that, and you say, hey, look, my goal right now, I'm in the taste testing phase. I'm going to get this money together so that we can hire and we can order a bunch of chocolate, raw cocoa, so then we can get a couple of people. Maybe we got to hire a chef or two. Okay, great. That's fine. You hire a couple of people, and then they taste test it. Now that you got the taste testers out of the way, then you can get the rest of the money. Hey, we've successfully done a taste test. We've done it on a small scale. Boom. Then you may even start to try to say, hey, now that you found one that worked with a blind taste test, because they don't know what it is. They don't even know the name of your company. You don't tell them. You just say, hey, we're a company out there. Here's our card. Or you take down their contact information of different people. Hey, once our chocolate is out, we'll contact you and say, hey, we're doing an announcement. So you do two different things at the same time. That's part of your marketing that you can do. When you're ready, you got them on a WhatsApp list, an email list. They're very important. And then once you're ready to launch, a few weeks out or something like that, you give the first one, hey, Snapjoy Delights is getting ready to launch. There you go. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and leave them in the comment section below. Because remember, like, comment, and subscribe on this YouTube channel. I've done what I could today. Now, hopefully, I've enlightened you to something else that you did not think of. And hopefully, I see some of you guys start your chocolate companies or start a fried plantain company or start something else that has global implications that you guys can make a lot of money and increase the value that is put into Africa. Because right now, it needs to increase. So I'll catch you all on the next one. Peace.